He says, who made you intelligent? I did. He said, I can make you like Nebuchadnezzar, but the next 7 years will be doing stupid things. Ladies and gentlemen, there is none of us who is where we are today who were not for the grace of God. If you have money, it's the grace of God. If you don't have money, it's the same grace of God. If you're smart, it's nothing you did. If you have privileges, it's simply because somebody just put his hand on you. But because you've never asked him why he put his hand on you. He said to me, how can you call what I've called blessed stupid? And now you all know the story about when he told Peter to go and to eat and kill. And he says, no, I've never, no uncleanness. Don't call what I have cleansed. There is this arrogance we have. And the simple reason why we don't love him is that we don't know how much he has loved us and overlooked our mistakes. I've seen girls who had 18 abortions. I've seen them get married and in 6 months, they have a child. I've seen saints who married as virgins and they don't have children. And my head is spinning. And I'm like, this one is righteous. And he said to me one day, he said to me, everything you do is filthy rags. Everything you reckon on your sheet as something as powerful is nothing but filthy rags. What do you have that you are bragging about? Listen, I remember many years ago, I was coming back from England, and the Lord said to me, Francis, who would you have been if you were born in Russia? Just by simple, many of us hate being Nigerians, but have you ever asked yourself what kind of life you would have had if you were born in China? Do you think you'll be one of the Politburo or you'll be one of the... I'm asking you. Okay, let's even say you're still black and they born you in South Africa. At the apartheid time. And you've never gotten up and said, thank God I'm in Nigeria, not in South Africa. Those guys wake up in the morning, they drink and drink and drink and drink. The president of South Africa said, we're allowing Nigerians to come to easily now. They're going to be doing e-visa. Let them apply. Everybody in South Africa is angry. Those people again. Why? They cannot understand our independence and our spirit. Nigerians, you can't put a Nigerian down. He will be the loudest talking person in the airport. Doc, am I right? If there's anybody shouting, he's a Nigerian. Get on a bus in London. If anybody shouting on the telephone, he's a Nigerian. If there's anybody shouting in the supermarket, he's a Nigerian. You have this undue, this confidence that God has put into you. And I remember it was this guy that made it clear to me, Reinhard Bonnke. He went to South Africa. And he was complaining. He said he started complaining to God. Why? When I get to the Nigerian border, I have to do this. When I get to the he said, if on the West African coast to go from one nation to the other, there is no amount of blockage they don't do. He said, I am tired. He says, Lord, I'm tired. Why didn't you just send me to Europe, where the rules are transparent and I can apply for this and get it? He says, the Lord says, that's why I made you German. I made you resilient. I made you stubborn. I made you strong. I made you engineer. I made you precise. Because everything I made you was designed to take you somewhere. If you think you are a Nigerian by mistake, I'm sorry for you. Not only are you going to miss out on your inheritance, you're going to despise your birthright. I'm asking you, just imagine you were born in South Africa at the time of the apartheid. Do you know you will not be able to think the way you are thinking now? All of that we take for granted because he doesn't document it and show us. I like people who, when they come, they say, I was coming from Lagos and one trailer overtook me and it nearly hit us and God, an angel came and just moved us. Yes, that's the one you saw. That's That's the one he lets you see. The hundreds, that's why people who travel week after week, there are hundreds that sometimes you will pass and they'll tell you, when you pass, 10 minutes later, armed robbers showed up at that point. And the only reason why they came 10 minutes later was because God told you to leave your office 10 minutes earlier. You can continue to take this love for granted. Am I making sense? Or you're going to understand that this love was not as easy. That's what I'm trying to say. People, I was telling somebody the other day, I said, for something to be free, somebody has to pay for it. Because there's nothing in life that is free. I don't know why anybody thinks so. I tell my young people all the time, I said to them, you go on Facebook, good. You enjoy it, free. Twitter, free. Instagram, free, great. Then you go to the movie house, you pay $2,500, you watch a movie, you come back. I said, everybody is getting paid but you. Then, you know what? You try. Some of you should try when you get home. Get home today. Am I making sense? Huh? Put on your phone. Huh? Are you listening to me? Record your house like this. Show the furniture in your house. Then upload it to your YouTube channel just for yourself. I promise you, in the next 1 hour, somebody will be offering you furniture. Somebody will be offering you television. All will come automated because every time you use their platform, they are learning about you. And they are looking for what you are looking for. Sometimes we will just be discussing, I want to buy, I'll just tell my wife, we have normal security lights, let us buy solar panel lights. We're talking, our phones are not on, no. We're not talking on the phone. Let us buy security lights for the house, solar panel lights. I think we should buy solar panel lights. The next thing I do on my Facebook page, the first thing that will show up as an advert is what? Solar panel. Because nothing in life is free. They can give you free services, but they're taking something back. And that's exactly how the devil is. People say if you want to eat with the devil, use a very long spoon. Let me tell you something. There is no spoon. As long as your spoon is long, he will take your hand into that business. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to remind you this afternoon of the love of God. And I wanted to remind you that you're not that pastor, you're not that nice guy who's making all these sacrifices. When you bring your tithes and your offering, when you come and serve in the house of the Lord, you're not a nice guy. I think it's Muhammad Ali as interesting as that guy. He's one of my heroes. He says, your purpose is the rent you pay for being alive. I was telling them in the first service, if you wanted you to make heaven, the day you gave your life to Christ, he will remove you from life. If he's left you here, if he's left you here this long, and that's not part of your agenda yet, it's still how you survive a regime that won't be there in 4 years' time. They will make another term. The other guy is smart. You can't beat that guy. That one I know. All the people say he doesn't know what he's doing. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. How many men have said, I'm going to be president of this nation and became president? I'm asking you. How many people said in the local, in the Navy? I think they need to study the man. I don't know whether he's a good man or a bad man, but I know he's worthy of studying. Abi? As Barack Obama is worthy of studying. You get the point I'm making? Smart, articulate man. He knows what he's doing. So I'm not worried about it. What I'm worried about is whether his heart is for this nation or not. If his heart is for this nation, then good things will come out. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. Now, if his heart is for himself, which I doubt very much, because the guy is already richer than all of you. I won't be surprised if he's as rich as the nation. So I'm not worried about him in that sense of things. But I'm asking you, are you here on survival basis? Or do you realize that the price was paid for you? There's a lady called Tara Kimben. That was her name before she got married. I've forgotten what her surname is now. But Tara is the only person in my complete life at Jesus Embassy. I think I must have had maybe about 150, 200 people ordained in my time, or even more. What I mean by ordained, recommend them for ordination, they're ordained, and they come in. Of all the 200, 250 people I ever had ordained, not one person out of those 250 has ever come to ask me, except for Tara, what is expected of me. Now, listen to me. Most of these people I'm talking about, they threw party. On their ordination day, they threw party. They sent me hamper. They did all that stuff, and I liked the hamper. Don't be some Sarah didn't send me hamper, but you know what I mean. But they sent me hamper. They sent me rice. They sent me wine for their ordination. I mean, they probably donated a little bit more to church, so I know that there was some benefit from it. But not one of them ever asked me, "What did you save me? Why do you love me like that?" And that's what God was showing through Gomer. That listen, I can love you so much because it's the goodness of God that leads men to repentance. And I went to the hospital last week or 2 weeks ago, and I sat with the doctor and I said, "Madam, this blood pressure medication is too much. How can I be taking some? I said, I'm getting old. Is there any way we can do another test and we can reduce it?" You know, this is a woman. I don't even know whether she's a Christian or not. She looked at me and she laughed. She said, "Pastor, you are alive. The blood pressure meditation is keeping your blood pressure down, and you are complaining." He says, "You better thank God that you are alive and your blood pressure is down. My father died at 42 from the same thing.